Hello, dear friends. In my last clip, I talked about three ways through which we can contribute towards achieving world peace. And don't forget that world peace is not only possible, but it is inevitable. It will happen, and the people of the world will reach the maturity eventually that nobody will be willing to go to war. Nobody will go to war anymore. Moms will not allow their children to go to war, and uh, you know, um, there would be world peace, and there would be no more like other racial prejudice or religious prejudice, or people will live in love and unity. Okay, but in the past clip, I talked about three ways in which we can, as individuals, contribute towards world peace. And now, in this clip, I'm gonna elaborate on that to see how each of these ways can contribute towards that. We are moving towards the international peace, and how we are moving towards it, we can see it happening. After World War One, the League of Nations was formed. After World War Two, something even more united called United Nations was formed. And hopefully, eventually, we will have just one nation, humans realizing that the earth is but one country and mankind are its citizens. So instead of United Nations, let's just have one nation. We are all the same, we are all humans. Doesn't matter if you are Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Baha'i, or if you are black or white or whatever race or religion or color that you are. We are or atheists. We are all humans. We are all humans, and eventually we will realize this, that we are all part of one family, and we would not fight each other. That's not only possible, but it's inevitable. It will happen because mankind is maturing. Trust me, the world is changing for the better, and I hope that World War III will never happen. One of the things we can do is to pray, like praying that hopefully World War III will never happen, and that humanity will learn to unite without going through the trouble of World War III. Because World War One led to League of Nations, World War Two led to United Nations. Maybe World War Three will lead to one nation, or maybe there will be no World War Three. Maybe humans will wake up and will stop the wars, and they will all complain to the leaders of the world that why are you making us fight each other when you yourself are in your mansions and nothing happens to you. If you see in most of the wars that we have seen throughout the history of humanity, nothing happens to the leaders of the world. It's only the people that suffer. And so the thing is that yes, I pray that, and we should all pray that World War III will never happen, and that nuclear bombs will never be used, and they would get rid of all the nuclear weapons, and we all pray that such would happen. So, as I alluded to earlier, prayer is one thing that we all can do. Prayer has effect, especially if prayer is accompanied with action. When we pray, if whatever comes to our mind after the prayer, we can think of that as an answer to prayer and take action. So, what are some of the actions that we can do? Well, one of the main things that we can do is to start from ourselves. One of the things is that, as Abdul Baha said, before peace is established between nations, it must be established between individuals. So to maintain the unity, don't estrange anyone, love everybody, and just keep contact with your family and friends. Don't block people, don't call estrangement and disunity. And then another thing is that make friends from different cultures and different nations, because especially even in marriage, interracial marriages, well, there is only one race, and that's the human race, but international marriages, which is marriage between, people of different nations, and of course there is only one nation, and that's the people of the earth. But for example, a black people marrying a white, or an Iraqi marrying an Iranian, or a Jewish marrying a Muslim, these all can help to promote unity, or becoming friends, not necessarily marrying. For example, if you are a Muslim, have Jewish friends. If you are Christian, have Baha'i friends. Establish the love and unity between people. And then so that's one thing. And then the other thing is not backbiting. Backbiting means talking bad about other people behind their back. this causes disunity. To maintain unity and love, we should only talk positively about other people. And Abdul Baha said, if doors of backbiting were closed, the earth will turn into paradise. So by backbiting, you are indirectly contributing to wars. So stop backbiting, and that helps to achieve world peace. And the other important thing is, one of the prerequisites of world peace is that poverty must be eliminated. Extremes of wealth and poverty must be eliminated. A lot of the wars happen because people who have too much wealth become greedy to have even more, and then they cause a war to happen, to sell their weapons or whatever reason, or some of them are just sadist people that just like to see people suffer, and to avoid this, no one should be too rich and no one should be too poor. We can start from ourselves. Especially if you are a multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire, donate your money to the poor like Bill Gates did. And even as individuals, any of us, like for example, I'm a pharmacy assistant. I have a good income, I'm not like a multi-millionaire, but I have good income to survive. And even I can help you, can help everybody in Australia. Doesn't matter what class you are. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire to help. Any of us can help the poor, and eliminating poverty is a prerequisite of world peace. World peace cannot be achieved as long as we have some people being too poor and some people being too rich. One of the things that may surprise you is that living a chaste and holy life, like that means living a celibate life before marriage, and after marriage being faithful to one's partner, husband or wife, will actually contribute towards world peace. How? Because when chastity standards can be very difficult to achieve. We all have our temptations. The reason God brought the institution of marriage, that the only relationship practice should be within the institution of marriage, is not because he didn't want us to have fun. He actually knew that this actually contributes to world peace, because when these chastity standards are practiced, it creates healthier, happier, and nobler people. People become more noble, and they are less likely to go to war. Generally, anything that improves your character, people's character, will make them less likely to go to war and hurt other people. So it is recommended to get married. Maybe I think even 18 is a good age to get married. As soon as you become an adult and you are 18, that's a good age to get married. And so that can be something that when people are living a chaste life, and people stop lying, stop backbiting, try to, but the betterment of the world can be achieved through pure and good deeds and through commendable and seemly conduct. That actually contributes to world peace. So, Dr. This is not what I'm saying, this is what Dr. Hartmut Grossman was saying in one of his speeches in Haifa. He's a former member of the Universal House of Justice, that world peace is impossible without people living a chaste and holy life. Especially the people in the government must live a chaste and holy life, and like I said, living a celibate life before marriage, and after marriage being faithful to one's partner.